how did they do it? How did they make it happen? Dignitas versus OG, and now we see if they can make it happen, Hugo. We're going to get into this one. Oh man, I hear stuff, there's noises, it's bringing back memories, man. I remember when we used to do this all the time.
Yeah, I'm working on the feedback, guys. So you have to let me know if it's all good here right now.
That sounds good.
But yeah,
Dad, you sound great, and I don't hear me anymore, which is a big improvement.
Ooh, nice. That's fantastic. Right. Well, LXCB will start things off pretty well. Classic entrance onto the B site, and well, trades for days. Forest with that classic pistol aim we know him for is kicking things off quite nicely. A 2 versus 2 to start things off here early in the morning here in LA. And this is a great way for me to wake up with some Counter-Strike. Yeah. It's been too long. I used to wake up so many days like this. And Harin, very nice tap there onto LXCB, leaving everything on the shoulders of Valde. And I feel like that is a very comfortable place for Valde to be always. Maybe it's even better for him when everybody else is out of the way with. Doesn't have to worry about any teammates. And it's just going for the clutch. Bomb down in the 1v2.
Valde. Yeah. Oh, it's a little bit ugly, isn't it, in towards CT? It always is. You need it to be clean in those kind of situations. And now he's getting shot as well while his body's on the ground. Man, Dignitas, they're looking at getting your head bright and early to begin the day. You know, that's a real middle finger. So they shut that round down. Locked in the pistol now means they're eyeing up these conversion rounds. And actually, OG have tried to like respond to that by coming in with a bit of a force buy. Now maybe that's something that gives Dignitas a bit of a fighting chance if they're able to pick this round up. Then you're looking at that 3-0 start. So let's see if they're able to get that locked in. Look at Freiburg go, man. It's been years, king of banana, but he's in the apartments. What's going on? He's opened this game up. And now Dignitas are in a 5-on-4.
Yeah, something you're going to spot a lot of here in a T-side for OG is these apps plays for LXCB. He loves calling quick drops out into the pit, running through that balcony with the chimney flashes. And so Freiburg finding that kill early and dropping a hall smoke has stalled the play out for OG. Bomb is back at Banana. 3 are up in the apartments. What is the game plan here as they group into this A site? Dig could re-aggro at B. They're throwing utility down Banana in the meantime. So already getting some info that B is pretty clear and they can be very ready for this A drop. It's a triple short side setup though, with 3 players fighting into middle. So an aggressive angle for Dig. Will OG go right past it and be able to get a bomb plant? Probably not with a bomb all the way back Banana. This could even fall into some kind of fake if LXCB changes his mind, but looking to and set up at the 40-second mark.
Yeah, really eking out every last second. Indeed, it's going to eventually be forced to go in there. Beautiful start from Dig to go up a man early and anticipating a play like this, knowing exactly how to counter it. Holzek able to take down LXCB as the push comes in, but Dig not having to move a muscle right now from the setup that they have, allowing the site to mostly go for free to OG, but once they have it, what can they really do with it? Great shot comes in from Forest. You know, you can see them holding that line still by Foiler. And Quad, that's lovely stuff there from Dignitas. And they're showing a lot of readiness right out of the gate here. They get that pistol on the boards. You know, a lot of individual spy when you get that early pick. So it's all going according to plan for Dig so far.
Yeah, lovely stuff. And eco now for OG, so the ball commences for these Ts as they have to wait for the money to kick in. And Forest is even taking liberties. It's him in the apartments this time early. Freiburg looking for the jump boost. He's not going to be able to get it. Maybe they'll do it manually instead of automatic. But OG, they could hit a good timing here, catching these players setting up on the porch side. Deagle's coming out through the mid choke. There is that boost. Halzok has his eyes on the prize, and he's going to drop the first.
Oh. Well, this one's pretty much dead to rights, isn't it? This is pretty much locked in. It was only up against these pistols, and I've got to say, you know, I came into this kind of bigging up OG, saying how I don't think Dignitas have got what it takes, and how even though it's cool seeing guys, you know, like Forest and Freiburg here in the server, well, you know, I don't think that's going to be enough. I've completely changed my mind, man.
Really,
Forest, Freiburg, you know, I love these guys, I really do, and just seeing them in the server makes me like believe again, and that's really, really bad. Like nostalgia is, this is looking good, right? They would win the anti-ecos. They get that locked in. Now they've got this rifle round to go up against. This is where we actually get like a good look in as to how this is going to stack up, right? OG, the moment the rifles come out, it always gets pretty scary. I wonder what Alexa B's gone for. He has just got an AK. He does sometimes like to run these SMG buys, although normally that's like running bonus rounds, right? But he is very, very good at it. I love seeing him kind of work over towards this top mid area. That's something I'm very, very guilty of. He's great at getting his team control on this map. So let's see if he's able to do something like that here and now. Issa as well is someone who's given us some great performances for OG as of late. And so he's opened up this this round, putting them in the 5-on-4 right away. You can see the rest of OG are just waiting at T-ramp. They want nothing to do with this app side of the map. They're leaving that to MBK and Issa just to repel Dignitas on this aggression. And now Dig, they're having to play very, very passively back in A and B. This is a little bit problematic, you know, like you've got 2 over towards B, so you're feeling good about that. Problem is, these rotations, because you're both deep over towards the apartments, they're going to take a long while to come in. And so if you are Dignitas here, you need these players in the B bomb site to really put on a bit of a show. And this apps aggression is actually coming in at a great time. They're about to get all this information that second mid, top mid, it's empty, man. And so at this point, they're kind of gearing up towards the idea of this being a B play. They've got the information. They've got OG where they want them. They just don't have the manpower.
Yeah, this is a really, really well played situation here from Dig. Once again, showing great responses. The push will come in. It's not really any time left for OG. They have to make this one work, and there's very little time to error correct if things don't go so well. Harry going into the smoke here, trying to pass through. He will get caught, though, unfortunately for him. It was a very, very nice attempt, but unfortunately, it's just Forrest and Freiberg who remain for Dig to try to somehow save this in 2 versus 4, but 2 versus 5, I should say. But indeed, the math doesn't add up for them, and they will find themselves saving their weapons. But I felt like OG, they did slow down in this round, and it gave this window of time for Dig to have that question and throw that out there and be like, okay, hang on, what is actually going on? They got that info play. They had the information to know what was coming. They even had a smoke and a couple of mollies actually on the B site ready to go with, I think, 40 seconds left. So
well, it's going to be B because we've just cleared out top mid, but you know that even if you start to rotate there and then, there could even be a player pushed up in towards the top of mid, like lurking around behind you. And not only that, by the time you get to B, the odds are OG are already going to be hitting it. So you needed someone to step up, and that didn't happen. Look at Freiberg. Look at Freiberg, man. This is a different route to Banana. Look at him go. He's all the way in the back line. Oh, no, not the Freiberg. He's giving him a vintage. Oh, it is vintage Freiberg and all. He gets wrecked coming through the smoke. Shut down on the lurk, and now that man advantage given over to OG. It's a little bit scary when you give OG the opening kill like that, right? You try and make a big play, but now they're sat in a 5-on-4. Really, they haven't had to work hard to get it. You know, you think about what they've thrown in this round, a bit of utility in towards the top of Banana, and now they're laughing. It has triggered this like 3-man stack over towards the B site for Dignitas. But OG, man, they just don't have they don't have this pressure to hit the B bomb site just yet. You know, they can take it slow. They can chill out.
Yeah, this is where Alexi's bulging brain needs to work out this triple stack. Right now, OG are about to execute into the hold of Dig. We can hear the comms at this point. I don't know if that's meant to come through, but Alexi with the entry, and now OG are running wild. Nice spray for Harry, but it's only good for 1. It's the trade from Heap at the back of the site, and they line up for him. Heap, mow down 3, but not enough. It's Forrest to come in and save the day with seconds remaining.
Bright and early here for me.
Dad, I gotta say, man, for someone who's awake at 5 AM, you sound nice and sprightly, and I always knew you would.
Well, Harry, he did get up yesterday to get, in the car.
Oh, right, yeah.
All the way to the studio.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. No, I mean, I knew Dan would be able to do that, right? Like, whenever you meet him, you know he's going to be the kind of guy that is a morning person. You can just tell. I don't know if you are, Dan. I'm just assuming here. But you sound very, very sprightly for a 5 AM. Right then. Well, look at this, man. OG.
I'm more used for me and Dan, casting into the night.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Into the late.
I mean, it probably is dark where he is, but at the wrong time, right? It's daylight coming up, not the sun going down. Oh, the Forest, he's gone down. Over in the apartments. Once again, the opener found for OG, but this time they need to actually try and get something from it, right? They've had these situations a decent bit now in the rifle rounds. This time they're trying to make it work. They spill into the A bomb site, but all the kills are coming up in favor of Dignitas. It is a shutdown. in the pit. Everyone has been toppled for OG, and now we're looking at Valde again. He's been left in one of these big clutches. He's dealt with the first man, but it's only going to get worse from here. This crossfire has now been set up as well. It's gotten real nasty over in the A-bomb site, and Valde hard-pressed to find much here in the 1v3.
What a read from Dig in this round as well, to put almost everyone on that A site. They knew exactly what was coming through after that pick from OG, right? They see Yap's presence as Forest gets flashed in for information. Even though he dies, you know, a martyr, getting so much knowledge for his team. And it's funny because we talk about OG on a map like Inferno, they're often the team to gamble stack, to put 5 players on a site. Well, this time it's Dignitas, and it comes up top, trumps 5-1.
And they've got the, you know, clear protocols. They have really good anticipation as to what their opponents are doing. They're reading the pace like really well. This is looking really solid so far. So this is going to be interesting to see if OG can find some kind of a recovery here. It feels amazing when you get such a clean start here on this CT side, and Freiburg's absolutely feeling it there. And the Apartments is doing all kinds of work with the rifles. So little left now for OG. 3 players just ambling their way up the banana position, looking to get entry towards that B site. Harriet is there ready and waiting, of course, with a friend as well, Heap. And they've got all the utility in the world. So, man, OG, they could make some magic happen here if they're able to find the right shots. We'll have to see if leikkeet's the one to do that, though.
Oh, well, not looking likely. Look at Valde's hidden, man. He's trying to stay alive. Oh, he does get the AK. He's got long old arms on him, does Valde. And doesn't matter, man. Long arm doesn't help you there. It's the big head that takes him down.
Get some space there. Are they making some more calls? Are we going to get some more juicy deets? But I was going to say, just for
context,
too.
Are we meant to get the juicy deets? I love
that
we get.
Yeah, that's a good question. But yeah, this is OG. You know, the world ranking is 6th at the moment, and Stig is 30th as well. They give more perspective to those not super familiar with the scene at the moment. So yeah, that's a great performance out of the gate. Need to keep it up though. And initial banana control attempt here, you can see OG fairly coy to begin with, not looking to dump a lot of util, but similarly for Dig. In fact, Dig are actually rotating, leaning an extra player towards B at the moment. They are swapping players out, so they have extra nades to defend the site with, and Freiburg's actually going to pick off Valde, who was trying to contact his way up into a 1v1. He'll get it, but it doesn't go quite the way he was expecting. So now in the 4 versus 5, OG need to find recovery.
And that's something they've struggled with a couple of times now. So Dignitas, you know, constantly, I was going to say constantly get these openers. That's not even true. A lot of the time in these rounds, they've actually been a man down, and then you've just had these like incredible holds. And the only time that failed them, if you remember, was when that B aggression came through in what was it? What, the 4th round, I think. So Dignitas, it's been impressive because it's not like they've just been picking a man off and then playing a numbers game. It has been these big individual performances. Well, now we've got Halzerg with the AWP down in the pit. He's got this crossfire set up with Forest alongside him. It's a pretty scary situation to be in if you're OG. MVK tries to just hop down into the pit, and they will spill over. Halzerg's still here, and they will spot that AWP. They are going to deal with him. They get it down to the 2v2. And so finally, OG are on the cusp of maybe getting another round. They've left it down to the wire, right? There's 7 seconds left as they're getting this bomb planted. And for Freiburg and Heat, they're left on for the retake here, having to move over from that B site, given over time to get this bomb down. There's a crossfire between leikkeet and Issa from pit to site. And so that might churn up this short player. It's going to be a real rough time over here at short side for Dignitas.
There we go, the flashes. leikkeet trying to play the off angle there, close to the sights, and Issa now in the pit. His position's known. Heap will swing through and take him down straight away. And looking like he will have just enough time here to get the defuse and lock it in. Oh man, what an impressively won retake there from them. And what are they falling behind in the individual performances? And I don't think that I would have ever expected that early here today.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a slow start for some of these Ts. It's not an easy place to start the T side of Inferno, and Dig are really making them work for it. You know, throw in the fact that you've got players like Freiburg and Forest, you're going for these pop flash app plays and taking advantages on occasion, and then you got Heap just locking down the sites. You know, 3Ks on both bomb sites now, holding down, closing rounds. This is a real slow start for OG. No AWP for Amantu either. Alzok's got his back in control. Some re-aggression on the short side. OG are back up to their usual tricks in the apartments and into middle. Freiburg receiving a smoke grenade. It's going to be up to the short players to hold strong. Forest attention drawn away. He's got them. Oh no! He's got a spray, but it's a whiff. Only a dink to Alexi, and the kills are in for OG. Finally, something working well. Freiburg flashing through the short smoke does keep things even, but OG have the pit, the site, and the grave. And Freiburg is moving in early, not waiting around, catching Alexi B in transition. And while the bomb gets planted, OG now have to dig themselves deep out of this dire situation.
MBK versus Freiburg down in the pit. That's a bit of an old school head-to-head going down. Freiburg still a threat, still a problem. Mansu, quick with the turn, is there to put the round on the board for OG.
Control with the most effective or efficient use of your utility. You don't want to be the team that dumps everything and then the other team gets to kind of retake for less, and these kinds of dynamics. And Dig have been doing a really good job kind of balancing the info game and playing passive to not give opportunities. And once again, we'll see an exchange around Banana, and there's still a good amount of economy here to have all the nades to Dig one. And they're going to give it up mostly, so we might see the retake set up here, but OG's pacing might be a bit different based off of what we've seen from their defaults, and they may surprise Dig with a straight-up hit here.
Yeah, committing off of the first set of util, right, going in fast with the flash. That's a game plan for Alexi B. And players are caught throwing grenades, stuck in the spawn. Is one hand, it's Heap at the back of the site, able to put up a hold, and Harry to help out. The crossfire is wonderful. Harry falls in the site. Freiburg on rotation receives some damage, and Heap backs up to give OG the respect that they demand. 4 on 3, but still a very good position for Dignitas, even though it was the quick-witted execute from OG that you say, Dan. Well, now Dig still have a chance to retake with a man up.
Yeah, I like what we're seeing out of Dig, right? They give up the site. They let that bomb go down, and that's so they can play this retake now 4 on 3. There is an attempt at aggression here in towards the ruins, and that could have given a kill over, but Mansu not wanting to fall without a fight, and Issa on the Galil absolutely lays them to waste. Man, that B play works wonders, and that's even in spite of Dignitas actually holding their own as the site push comes in. They fall out of there. They give it up. They try to play 4 on 3, but you can't get past Issa when he's wielding that little baby AK. He absolutely dominates them from the back of the site.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was the 4 versus 3, and in the blink of an eye, just boom, they're just all deleted. That's the kind of stuff that OG have been needing for a while now, and finally they're getting it. I think I'm not sure which of you guys was suggesting that was a bit of a slow start. Maybe it's starting to heat up a little bit. The blood's flowing for OG, and finally they've actually whittled away enough economy for Dig that they're actually on pistols. And wow. I mean, taking 10 rounds to get your economy to this state, I think you're still having a good time if you can say that about your CT side. But still, we'll see what Dig can muster. They're stacked towards the A side of the map at the moment, and pressure is all over the place. Default kind of looks the same. Oh, through the window, trying to tase. That's not going to pan out, unfortunately, though.
90 damage, man. He did his damn best. He did all he really could. Oh, great shot, Forrest, though. He's found himself a little AK, going to scarper away with that, and OG might just be forced back into a B play. It's actually the right call for them here, because there's no one inside of the site. It's only spawn play, and the rest are over on a rotation from Dignitas. So there was a chance inside of B, but OG have pulled the brakes. They've fallen back, and they've been re-smoked in middle, which is not a problem for Mantu. Spraying through it and finding that kill might just tempt OG into this A site. The bomb's walking into the smoke. Dignitas gambling on B right now. Can't blame them with how many of these rounds have ended up on executes into the site. The point you made the other round, Dan, was that Dig have not been giving away opportunities, and that is definitely true. OG have never found picks in B. They've never found entries up Banana. It's always been conceded. It's always been Dignitas hiding in the bomb sites, and so finally given a pick in middle, OG exploits it. They take A, and that's a guaranteed anti-eco win. Not the end of the world for Dig. They save the AK on Forest. They get away with some armor, and they can reinvest if they need moving forward. But yeah, maybe the slow start for OG, maybe this is where they build, and they can still win the half, so it's not all doom and gloom yet.
Yeah, and it's a story we've definitely seen a lot of times. And I feel, though, as as Dig have been playing so far, we have seen, I think, a good sample size of the variety that they can bring to the table. So I'm hoping that, you know, we'll see that counter adjustment from Dig to make things a little bit interesting. Whether or not OG can kind of complete that sort of comeback in this first half, you know, whether or not that's the case, it would be really cool to see Dig, you know, starting to throw their adaptations in setups there to kind of, you know, try to win the rounds during OG's default, or do we try to play, you know, play more aggressively around the banana? There's so many different options, so I'm really curious to see what Dig have, you know, in their under their sleeves.
That smoke is cool for Forest. It's going to set off, it's going to stop a Molotov thrown through the window from a player running up alt mid. And so while that wasn't thrown by OG, that's a cool idea for Dignitas to exploit that, to stop the molly and to give them, well, at least a sense of apps control. They haven't taken it, they've given it up, but OG don't know that. So set up on the short side with these pistols again. Boosted is Freiburg. Forest on the long side with his AK as well. Pivotal position, but also one that he can bail and save from if an execute comes into one of the sites. Right now, Dignitas has not got save on their mind. They've made the right read on the A site, and OG are setting up for it.
Position by position, looking to clear things towards top mid, and at the same time, Dig looking to find that perfect moment to strike with this setup. All four players here, nice angles, able to isolate these angles over the smoke. Forest creeps through, there's three from him. That's not bad at all, is it? Heap able to maybe make something happen off the back of that awesome play from Forest. He has a deagle, a smoke, a flash, Kevlar. I don't know that he'll be able to pick up a gun just yet. Mantu's watching though. And that's unfortunate. Heap. Oh, there was a glimpse of hope. Thanks to Thought.
Worrying now if you're Dignitas. I want to see more from Halzerk on this AWP. He's brought it up a couple of times now. And I tell you what, like the harder time to wield that weapon is still to come, right? Moving into that T half, it's really common to see Orphers struggle a lot more. So he keeps going for it. And I think we need a big moment from him. Now he tries to get stuck in over towards that B site, but does get bested right away. Let's make matters worse, you've even lost Heap as well, so piece by piece, this is falling apart for Dignitas. Both players going to find themselves over here towards B. That A site is completely clear right now. And OG, they're loving that. They've started to piece this one together. They're moving back towards A. And if they go in for Dig, it might have to be a save. Like, even though you look at it and you say, yeah, 2-on-3, they could definitely give it a go. You've got an AWP in the retake, which can get traded out. There are rifles dropped. But do you want to go for it, right? You're going to have a lengthy rotation. They are at least getting down through Banana. They might even catch Mantu in top mid. Oh, dear. Now that realization going to come in for OG, but they don't know that both players have pushed the Banana. They're still paranoid that there's a second man here at this A bomb site, and that is not the case. And we'll get the bomb down. Dignitas are definitely interested now if they weren't before. And Halzerk, interesting to know, is keeping that AWP out for the retake. Freiburg creeping his way in through the short side. Alexa B in the apartments, and waiting back inside of the site is MBK. Very, very patient here. Freiburg's already in, blindsided by MBK. Halzerk's going to get the trade. And now it's him versus Alexa B, who's wrapped all the way round through Boiler to come in on that backstab. And Halzerk never even considered.
Excellent recovery from OG. And to not see Mantu on the T side, that's like so standard on a map like Inferno. We never see him picking it up. On CT, it's going to be important that he can actually warm into it on that short side. But right now, it's a faster play for OG yet again. Nades up B, and they finally get that pick up, killing Harriet on the sandbags. He was trapped between the Molotov. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Early rotates towards B. It isn't eco for Dig. They're going to throw all their eggs in one basket. Issue with throwing eggs is they often will shatter. And OG ready and waiting, lining up the smokes. But the bomb is going right back. And so Dignitas have fallen for this one. Hook, line, and sinker right now. As OG look interested in that A site.
Yeah, it's such a great way to approach your eco, or anti-eco, I should say. You know that that your opponents are working with such a disadvantage. They're really light on their feet. They really want to try to stack off of as little information as they can, and you can really use the time on the clock as OG are to kind of play with that, to sow seeds of doubt, maybe even extract very limited but precious utility from the CTs, and then you're in this spot where maybe you also catch a player off guard, and then once their numbers are kind of whittled down, they don't even have the ability to trade properly. So it's just so systematic and methodical. A great, you know, approach from OG, and it's a pretty tough call for Dig. You know, you have to gamble, and you're not always going to be right. And the question now is, you know, are they going to try to play for, you know, aggressive exits, try to pick up some guns, trap some players? There's a few different ways to approach it, and OG, you know, they can, you know, they're able to, you know, save in the pit as well. It's looking like it's going to go quite aggressive for some of these kills.
Yeah, I was going to say, right, they certainly seem interested, don't they? But they're not allowed to get away with anything, really. This crossfire in top mid has just brutalized the two players that try and go there. And so for Forest and Heat, you know, they would love to get anything, really. Just getting out of the round with an AK can make you feel a little bit better off. They will grab it, although Heap's getting chased down. Oh, he's gotten out of there. Heap's dodged the bullet. And he will escape with the AK. All right. At least gives them something moving into the last round of the first half. AK out, rifles for the others.
Man, I jokingly said, like, well, not jokingly, but, you know, tongue-in-cheek said that, yeah, OG, they could win the half. I said that at 7-2. It's now 7-7. They might just be pulling this one right back. This looks so good for Dig. They were just taking names. They were holding bomb sites. They were retaking. They were doing it all. And now OG are right back in the control, right back in potentially the lead. And we'll see how this half goes. Halzuk on the AWP. Going to have a bit of a BP here from one of the rifles. Freiburg trying to fight, but mollied out on both sides. OG give it up as well. They dart back through the smoke. It's just Valde playing ahead of it. A slower start for OG in the last round of the half. They know the util is there for Dig as well, and that early triple B setup has now fallen back into more standard stuff for Dignitas. Orb just waiting on the short side. It's where we expect to see Mantu in that CT side as well. Halzuk just sits back and holds boiler. OG with 2 up B with the bomb as well, so ready for an execute at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, this might be the timing where you'd expect that kind of top mid pressure to come in from the T side, but it looks like OG are in position to possibly, and we can see them sort of taking small peeks here towards this B site, but they could actually possibly try to force some action there. They will actually extract some more utility. Smoke goes out, and Issa finds the pick. That's what they were looking for. Survives with 2 HP, but that's still a 5 versus 4, as now they bring themselves back towards top mid for a pretty late top mid take. But Freiburg's here. He could really throw a wrench into the works for OG. It's all on him, really.
Freiburg's looking to go in. He's looking to make something happen, and he will get one, but that's the extent of it. Now Halzuk knows this push is coming his way. It looked like he wanted to go aggressive there, but realizing he is the only thing standing between OG and this bomb site, he's now got to hunker down. He's got to try and make some kind of magic happen. Oh, the timing. It happens to the best of them. Oh, it's brutal, and it is all left on to Heat. 1v2 in, oh, sorry, 1v3. Issa just sneaking in there with that tiny little health bar. I didn't even see it. So Heat, what's he going to do in this situation? It's a pretty rough one to be in, if you're being honest. Flash goes over. They know where he is. No one from OG is like keen to take this fight just yet. They're going to wait till they have him right where they want him. They spot him out in the open, but he is good for that first kill. There's the trade, and OG
8-7, OG holding strong in this first map. It's their pick of the series of Inferno. We have Train up next for Dig, but right now, in the here and the now, in the present, they've got to recover. It was a bit of a strong start, followed by a slow finish in that first half for Dignitas. Lots of utility in the pistol round as well. They have plenty of options available. Alexia B's on the kit, double flash. We have a classic OG setup, 2 still waiting in spawn to find out where that commitment is, to allow them to rotate fast. Will they be tricked though? Will they be fooled? Or will it just be this full execute into B from Dig?
It's looking like that at the moment. Valde is the guardian, the gatekeeper of this B site. Doesn't connect anything, but he certainly gets the information that his team need. That triggers a rotation to assist this B defense. And Dig, they don't even have to commit, but at this point, they are very committed. All the nades are going in to provide cover. Harris straight to the back there, jumping around, gets the kill backside that he's looking for, leaving Valde right in the back corner again to try and defend, and Forest will take him down. Ever reliable on these pistols, leaving OG in quite a difficult spot. A 2 versus 4 retake. MBK looking to make light work of 2 players there to even the odds.
Man, they tried to swing with him, they tried to deal with him, and MBK now has really complicated matters here. There's Matthew as well, peeking into the back of the site, but he's cut down, and so it's left to MBK to be this pistol hero. One has already eluded him. Oh, there it is, and now just one man left standing. MBK, he might do it to them. He might hit Dig with it, but no, the peek comes through from Halzerk. Oh, and he hits him with the easy spray. Like, I like it when the pros use that. I don't have any graffitis.
You don't clutch, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's actually why. I just put the salt one down because you always get that one dropped for free. I'm not actually going to buy a graffiti.
I think I'm totally with Harry on this one. Actually, I think it's identical. Yeah. Sorry for me. Yeah, welcome to the clutch, man. I think I first saw Skadoodle rocking that back in the day, so I think it's got some sentimental value to it as well. And OG and Dig locked into an 8-8 scoreline here in the second half. And Dig, MBK, no, make it stop. It's just Heap remaining. He's been doing some excellent stuff so far. I don't know how much he can do here, though. Able to take down a second player, though, which does enable him to get that bomb planted, but they are coming for him.
Yeah, this is a nice one. MBK's really dug the graves for Dignitas and Heap. Oh, that's not the flash that you wanted. He will come in with the first. However, yeah, with two players still to find, he's worried about them being on the bomb. That's not happening, is it? So OG answer back. They get churned up trying to push through mid, do Dignitas. They go through that smoke and the 5-7. It's just brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the pistol prowess. They force Dig into a force, and there's only one AK behind it, so not a pretty picture at all. Great round for OG. Reaping the rewards, running the M4s, got that Galil and Alexi as well, and Heap, he needs to do something absolutely heroic in this round to keep it intact for Dignitas. Otherwise, those Glocks are just around the corner.
That's a really upsetting situation. Dig, though, they may have quite a few plays up their sleeves. So we can see on our mini-map that they are all gathering towards top mid here. So the intentions are pretty clear from our perspective on that A site, at least, or at least the pressure to begin with. Smoke down towards Arch, which Alexi will lurk behind, giving opportunities for his teammates to flash for him. They can have crossfire setups, all sorts of business that can be done from that position. There goes one of those flashes for info. Alexi B peaks, sees nothing top mid. However, Dig are still actually just there, but just not all the way. So look at the misread from OG. They think that they're rotating to B right now, and they're going to play a passive setup across the board to just cover all of their bases. But right now, OG don't have almost any counter utility for the push that's coming in, and it feels like Dig are going to hit and very nasty timing against OG here.
Oh, this wrap at long, right? It's a lot of responsibility to try and hold on to it. Waiting at the Arch side. Actually might get voided entirely. Manson with the swing, good for the first, but there are the trades. Issa dead in the pit as well, and now suddenly MBK arriving late from that Arch side. Just trying to do something through this smoke, but he can't offer anything up, so now weapons have been retrieved, right? You've still got that AK on Heap as well, and this is left to 3-on-3 open for Dignitas. They've had a little bit of time to set up these post plants. They've got two in the site. They've got as well a man down in the pit in the form of Forest. And so this swing together, right, this playing off of each other is going to be very, very important. This crossfire could tear apart the retake, could put a stop to it before it even starts. Good damage found from Forest. They get up into the site, but that's where that crossfire really shows its worth, right? You think about what's just happened there. You've been pincered, essentially, trying to clear these angles. And Alexa B was already saving, man. He got out of there while the going was good. The rest of his team into their deaths, and he ends up as the last man alive. Some of those players back into more passive positions inside of A. They maybe get paranoid about the potential of a CT wrap, so MBK actually isn't there to help in the bomb site. He gets avoided at long. They never even see him. And so essentially for Dignitas, they're in like a 5-on-2 taking that A bomb site.
Yeah, definitely around OG's your forcing though, right? They go right back into it with the one save gun with all the damage. Dig lose every player to the bomb, and so they've actually got a really weak buy, all things considered here. Fast out of the apartments, blinded and dead to MBK. It's through the pit with the spray, but only one. The spray from Alexi in through the smoke does 95 damage, but Freiburg fires back, and he fires well. It's now Dig again in this pit position and in with a bomb plant. 2-on-2 on the retake. OG, they've got to win this one this time around, but no kit currently. There's a gun at their feet and a kit there as well, so it's quite the bounty. It's quite the pickup for OG as they move in on the long smoke. It's just freshly come down. OG, you can't afford to wait it out. It will cost so much time, and Dig can just tuck into the pit at that point and play the bomb.
Perfect timings there found as well. Ooh, Digger showing some their lead and also putting OG in the economic doldrums as they are in quite a difficult position. And I feel like you should really edge Dig at this point. It took OG a lot to barrel down their economy in the first half, and Dig are in such a good spot now to abuse this. And I'm also liking how Dig are abusing a lot of expectation, what they think their opponents will do versus what their opponents are up against. They've had a really good read of that so far. And so I'm really loving that, and Heap's having a great game too. I haven't really seen much of Heap, and speaking of Heap, once again opening things up, and with the help of Issa, he's going to take down 2 players.
Oh, the flashes are brutal. However, Heap's still holding on. He's just, well, actually he's not holding on. He gets wrecked, and now these are weapons retrieved. It's another one of these rounds where OG have made it, expensive at least. But do they want to save the Galils and get out of there with them? You're going to be looking to go for an investment soon anyway, so you don't need to keep the Galil. It's not exactly the best gun you've ever seen. Although it is almost like a T-side M4, right? I know that's a bit debatable. Everyone's going to be like, well, it's not, because it isn't. But look, man, it's a gun, isn't it? That's all you need.
Sure. It's cheap as well, man. With that price getting nerfed, buffed, what do you even want to call that? It's $1,800. Man, that's pretty cheap. Get a couple friends together, crowdfund it, buy Galil. Probably do not much with it. But right now it's Dig running away with this game indeed. Yeah, you definitely have to edge them here, not just off the fact that they're winning, but now the economy in their control as well. We're waiting for their first gun round on OG side. First proper gun round, right? We've had them buying in after MBK wins that full.
There's so much that can happen when, the T side normally, what you're looking for is, how are they going to condition their opponents? What pace are they going to set right from the get-go? And you'll see immediately that smoke going down by the half wall, and that's so typical. The Molotov behind it as well to prevent CT aggression. Speaking of which, Issa in the apartments looking to hold close, and you're often going to find somebody here looking to see that default play out. He just goes straight out down the stairs to find more, and it will be traded out. 3 versus 3, you got to favor Dig.
Oh, lovely shot for Hauser, catching a rotate out of the spawn. Now, that forces the second player to commit inside a B, even though this is likely going to end on the A site. There's not much Valde can do. MBK desperately looking for kills as the bomb sneaks up through the apartments. If he can stay alive here and buy time for Valde to come in, maybe there's a chance, but MBK can't afford to die with nothing. There's a kill. Second man with the bomb coming from the same position, and MBK doesn't look aware. He is going to swing with a flash and find another. That's a beautiful hold from MBK, and now it's down to Heap, the man who's been so pivotal and so good at closing these rounds versus Valde.
Yeah, not exactly an easy task for him. He's moving up towards long, and there's that rotation in from Valde. Not quite ready for it was Heap, right? That's one of the worrying parts there, is it felt like he was anticipating a rotation in through the top of mid, maybe down through banana, maybe he's already got there. But the fact that he drops the Molotov over towards that long corner, and it's actually the smoke that finds its way short side, really does suggest that, in his mind, he was anticipating a short flank. Caught off guard by the speed that Valde arrives there as well. And obviously that's all facilitated, that's all allowed to come through because of MBK down here in the pit, who does deliver far more than he had to, right? I think there, we needed a big performance out of him, but the fact that he gets it down to the 1v1, it makes it comfortable for Valde, is pivotal indeed. And so Dignitas now, they had their chance to really keep the game going in their favor. They've got another one here, right? That's one of the downsides of being on the CT side, having to get back into this game if you're OG. The money can feel so punishing. And so luckily enough, that AWP is good for one, but it's the double setup in apps, the quick trade that's allowed to come through, and it's left a 4-on-4 open for Dignitas.
Yeah, that was almost not traded as well. I mean, Forrest had to get a couple bullets through the wood there to finish that one off. So that was really tight. Beautiful spacing there from Dig to pull that one off. And again, the 4 versus 4, favorable for the T side. We got that set up top banana. They wouldn't expect Vowler to be in this position behind Sandbag. Except Vowler's going to knock down 2, which leaves things into a 2 versus 2. Smoke down for the crosshair for the after plant. And MBK is very quick to get positioning, or try to get positioning towards construction, but he'll get taken down by the AWP of Forest. And that is not going to look too good for Issa. He doesn't like it. He's going to fall back and save what he can. And this is the perfect result here for Dig, of course, to maintain control of the game into the dying rounds of this first map.
Yeah, a big reset round to win, right? Like, that's why it's just immediately saves. He knows that AWP's important. He didn't have a kit at the time that he bailed from that round as well, so knew it was pretty unrealistic. And that CT economy comes back to punish once again as Dig find their 12th. So close, so neck and neck as well. But OG, are they really just going to put all their eggs in one basket? Are they really going to buy up right now? That flashes on Valdir. And you're really just hoping for something to go your way. You're hoping for Mantu to pop off here, but as we've already seen, he's had the AWP once. He got a kill, he got traded. That is it. That is all we have to work for, or work with, rather. So he's got to really upset the grain on the CT side if he wants to take home a round for OG.
Oh, look at him, though. He is looking to put it to good use. He's gone aggressive in through the apartments, and he is towing the line. As there is danger lurking around the corner there. That Mac-10 doing a little bit of damage. That's enough for Mantu to be scared away on that AWP. Now, Issa's still waiting around in the apartments. It's a very, very measured approach from Dignitas here, right? They know that really there's not going to be much on the table for OG. You are just worried about Mantu, as you've said. And so they're taking it slow. They're not wanting to throw anything away. We've already seen the pistols get away with a lot more than they should be able to on folks like MBK, but this time he's only got a USP, so I hope he doesn't get 3 just for this. I mean, it would be cool, but like, I hope it doesn't happen just for the sake of sanity. And yeah, the Mac-10 runs him down. There's the entries coming through. Mantu's nowhere to be found. He's rotated away. And so this A site now belongs to Dignitas. AWP never really given a chance to get stuck in, right? There was really one chance in that round, and that was on that Apps aggression, and the Mac-10 was enough to just get Mantu backing out of it.
Dig flashed that angle as well, right? Keep that in mind. Like, that's so sweaty. Mantu, for the first time, has pushed Apps to the AWP. They know they saw it earlier deep in halls, and they don't peek it, but not only that, they pop flash the stairwell. Like, that's really, really annoying. There's nothing Mantu could do. He had to run. He was getting spammed from the bridge as well, and yeah, just going to save in B. If they came B, maybe he had a chance, but not today. It's 13 for Dig, 5 alive as well. A really, really bleak picture for OG in the second half. We already saw the recovery in their T side, right? Going 7-2 down and still winning the half. So we know they have that in them, but we're at the point where economy is going to be the be-all and end-all, and they have 1 or 2.
With pistols, and they just knew precisely what to do. So that's just telling me that they have some really great prep going into this. They know the tendencies of their opponents all throughout this matchup. They've understood how to react and what to expect. And once again, as we move forward here, it's gonna be that banana, that early round banana play that Inferno is so famed for. And a mix-up here, Alexi B will get boosted up there to try to get some info. I like that, the jump peek off of the boost, not really trying to commit into any frags or fragging situations. And immediately Dig, moving for that top mid take timing. We'll have to see if OG, how much OG want to put into this, whether they just want to slow them down, but they've already taken some pretty passive positions. MBK doesn't have a lot of support here towards Arch. This feels quite scary right now for OG, I have to say. Here comes the push. That's a great start from Mantu and Issa.
When that's really slowed down the push from Dignitas, right? And now there's not really much of a push left to come in behind it. That AWP absolutely nailing them, and Issa just slowing them down, like lining them up for Mantu to come in and deal that killing blow. But Heap and Halzek, they're bowing out, man. They're a little bit worried about this one. I don't want anything to do with that A-bomb site, and with damn good reason. You know, the AWP repels them. And this time it's Mantu not feeling that pressure to go aggressive, right? Just playing back in the site really does put the AWP to good use. The crossfire he has with Issa. I think you were dead on, though. There was a chance that could have got out of hand, right? If you kind of went for that standard, you know, throwing the close smoke onto the cart with flashes to go alongside it in what you would normally run in like a fast apps play, maybe you could have had a bit more success there. But they tried dry run it with just a couple of flashes to come through, really trying to keep that element of surprise, and in doing so, they don't get the AWP off the angle, right? And when you let Mansu have his line, when you let him keep that position, he really is a big danger to run into. And so he's locked in an 11th for OG pretty much single-handedly, right? Issa was there doing some damage, but really we're looking at Mantu as the man who made that round happen.
Yeah, and now someone like Halzak has got a lot on his plate, right, in terms of running this AWP, trying to win this AWP battle, trying to pick Mantu. Easier said than done with the position that Mantu's often playing, right? Sat around default, watching apps and watching Porch, and not really overextending or giving away those mid picks or chasing down Banana. He's going to go early B with the AWP, or at least he has the option to in these rounds as well. Vaudi lobbing in utility. Issa with a molly down middle as well. Vaudi forced out of B, and MBK goes back. So it's more standard setups again. Mantu patiently waiting, as he often is. And this time it's banana control for OG as leikkeet flexes his muscles and moves down this position. The deep smoke is down. He's playing anti-flash. He's being baited in by Vaudi, who's spraying the smoke and can also replenish it with one of his own. Dig in the meantime just sat in middle, holding their default on this T side. MBK spotting, but not forever, will eventually concede mid. It's a very risky position for Mantu. He's open to short. This is actually not holding it from a wide enough angle to cover, so he could get picked up here, considering Dig can get out mid for free, but the smokes come down, and that stalls the clock by another 15.
It stalls the clock, but it does also give Dig a huge utility advantage. They're still held onto 4 of their own smokes, and so that's going to be really useful in executes and post-plant setups if they can, retain any smokes for those as well, which will buy a lot of time. So now they're, cycling back into top mid after showing some more presence towards Banana. We get the Molotov there, which could allow OG to start pressuring for information, but they should start to figure out what's going on now as Dig are beginning to throw that utility in. The execution is coming through. Mantu with the nade this time is going to start things off nicely, denying the entry frag, and time is of the essence here. 15 seconds to go. Issa defends against Forest 1 by 1. Dig are struggling to get into the site. Issa creeping around the side of the smoke here, leaving Halzak at close range. I thought we were going to get an orb shotgun moment there, but not quite. And
so right now he's showing up in this map in a big way. He's had a lot of huge A-holds in this game as well, and his pistols have been sublime. So yeah, this is a great recovery from him, and OG now neck and neck up against pistols. This should be them equalizing it on 13, unless anything goes a little bit crazy. I don't expect that though. Not a round that is likely to be given up by OG as Dig just full group in Banana. This is a good round for a B player. It's been some time since we've seen a B execute from Dig. They obviously don't have the util to throw in any fake, and if they drop their smoke, they've got to commit with it with that flash as well, even if OG throw in util of their own. So it's all down to the Hail Mary into B from Dignitas.
And already OG with like good awareness in this one, right? They've dropped this utility to try and slow down the push. Now, one guy has gone through towards CT, but Valdez one step ahead of it. The molly delayed the rest of the guys getting in. And so this was just really nice, like breaking up these engagements, right? You essentially forced those first players that got past the Molotov into these very, very horrible fights versus the rifles in the site where no one from Banana, none of those guys that were meant to be joining you in the hit can actually come through and help out. That was nice from OG, and they're the kind of rounds you want to see, right? For Dig, it kind of feels like they're running into a brick wall at this point in time. It's like you can see the frustration, right? They know they had chances to close out this game. They know that they were in a really good spot where it was OG's money constantly on that kind of point of reset. And now... Well, now it's 13-all. Dignitas, whenever they've tried these A plays, there's been MBK, there's been Mantu putting a stop to it, and it's been very varied. And now they try and go back towards a B hit, and that hasn't worked for them either. So what's the game plan going to be? Because the numbers are dwindling again. It's this same situation where OG coming up with new ways to get stuck in, new ways to kind of, throw a spanner in the works for Dig. And once more, we're looking at Heap and Halzak left in this one in a 2-on-4. Last time they were in this situation, they saved, by the way. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. No money for Dignitas. Are we looking at another just kind of dud round for the Swedes?
Yeah, they're starting to lose that momentum, and it's never the point at which you want it. Maybe they can find something here, just dig deep, excuse the pun, and here they go, using that smoke to cross onto the site. Valde is going to try to delay this. There's all sorts of stuff that he can do from this position. Spam the pressure. He knows his angles, and that might just kill the round completely for Dig. It's just Heap left here. 30 seconds, sure, but 4 players to go. Valde around the corner. He makes a good go of it. Can't turn around in time to nail Alexi B, unfortunately for him and Dignitas. And their prospects are starting to look quite grim here, as the economy is not really looking good, and OG are starting to really find their footing. Their economy is looking fantastic, and I'm sure their confidence has risen pretty dramatically versus the beginning of this map.
Yeah, comebacks in both halves as well. That's just unbelievable for OG. Can they close it? Can they make it worth their while? Or will it all be forgotten? Dig, more pistols, more problems. Apps has been locked down pretty well for OG on this CT side. There's no one inside of it this time around, but Issa is sat by on his famed balcony position, as we often expect to see him there. Deep library side smoke for Freiburg coming in as well. They're going to flash out mid and go aggressive with it. Will this be this B split coming in from Spawn? Will it be allowed? Alexi with the line and finding multiple kills potentially, and he gets a double. Good hold. Mantu here with the AWP as well. They might not be ready for 2 more CTs in position. He can give it up because there's still a third man here. Found it, striking from the back and dropping the bomb. This B split has fallen at the seams, and Freiburg, you may have the site, but no package to plant. They have it under control.
Oh, and they know, right? They know exactly what Dignitas were trying to do, so Freiburg's not even a little nasty surprise. All right, he's going up and over. They might not be ready for this. With 2 players here, though, it should get traded. It should get dealt with. There's the first, and there's the trade right away from underneath Freiburg's nose. OG onto 15. Map point locked in on their map pick. And let's not forget, this is one hell of a recovery, right? This was 7-2 in favor of Dignitas. They soared ahead going into this second half of play. And OG, throughout this entire matchup, it feels like, have been on the back foot playing catch-up, but they've always been able to deliver that.
Yeah, they've been really confident in their abilities. I think, you know, that's one of the things that they have going for them. They've got a lot of evidence that they're a really solid team. So, you know, as you know, we set it up at the beginning, as volatile of a map as this is historically for OG, there's a lot of great fundamentals for them to rely upon. And I mean, Dig, you know, they won a lot of clutches. They were looking really good individually at the start. And, you know, getting onto the CT side, we're seeing that for OG. And I think especially we saw it from MBK to begin with, and Mantu on some of those A defenses with the AWP, that they found a lot of comfort individually, less so from the T side, but more so from those CT side setups. And that's really good to see from OG. But still, they've got to close things out, as you guys suggested. This could be the last buy round here for Dignitas, and it needs to be a good one.
Oh, it does indeed. I mean, you know, I wouldn't say no to an overtime in the first game of the event, in the first map of the event. So Dignitas, come on. Because that's kind of riding on them now, right? They're the only ones who can provide it. OG having a lot of answers over on this CT side. A lot of answers to the problems that Dignitas presented early on. And so right now, Dig are waiting down at the base of Banana. They've called back these players that were apps bound, that were heading over towards this A-bomb site, and they've just decided that they might just hit all 5 early on in towards B. Now, early on, OG, it looked like they had the read, right? They had the 3rd man over towards that B site. But they've since recalled him over towards A. And so for the time being, we are looking at this double hold. Mantu going to open up with the first on that AWP. Valdez smoked off, so it is just onto Mantu at the back of the site. They're getting closer. The smoke's down, and he will get found through it. Still, it's the man advantage for OG as they now set up for the retake. Valde never pressured the site. He waited for his teammates to arrive, but there's a big double to come through and suddenly put this back in favor of Dig. The bomb now ticking away as well. And for OG, bit of a rough spot to be in. You know, they tried to play patient. They tried to wait till everyone was here to retake. And now they're left in the man down situation. They're having a retake. with dwindling numbers, and it's all left onto Issa in the 1 versus 3. A big round from Harry on the side of Dignitas, and just one man left to get past. This bomb ready to go off as well. Issa just playing for exits, it feels like.
Oh, nice shots, but yeah, simply no time left for the round. Harry was hunting the ace. You cannot blame him, but 4 is damn good as well. He's been very quiet in this map and shows up on the tip of our tongues as OG still have the money to buy, but might be feeling a little bit worried, might be feeling a little bit worse for wear with somehow how some of these rounds have gone, rather. Back to a triple B again for OG. Only temporary, but Mantu is there. He was in the perfect position last round as well, but this time it's more of a default for Dig. Back to the apps control for Issa. He's pushed in through his own smoke. They're walking out through mid. They're contact playing through a smoke, and no one is here to realize the rotate is coming in on long late. Mantu might be in a perfect position, but is he ready for a player out in the open? He does get that pick. Harry in the apartments finding his fight successfully. Mantu scope back up, but he can't hit the second shot. Oh, yes he can.
All right, Mantu. Through the smoke, he's dealt with them. He's putting on a bit of a show for us, is Mantu. Oh, Freiburg with the turn, and almost back in. What is this round? It's all on to Harry. He's got to do it again, and only with the Glock. It's not going to happen. OG close it out as 16.